The Husky Jerk is just one of those baits that simply works in a lot of applications, whether you're casting or trolling. But when it comes to cold water trolling, this bait really shines. This is the bait that I rely on when the water gets cold to slow roll fish into the boat, one after another, year after year after year, and in a lot of different situations, in a lot of different bodies of water. The Husky Jerks just shine. Trolling this thing, let's say 1 mile an hour to 1.2 to 1.5 miles an hour, really slow rolling that action. And of course, it's got great sound to it in a lot of different colors. I tell you what, you start doing that, slow rolling these things in the spring, in the late fall, in any cold water, you're gonna put more walleyes in the boat, hands down. When it comes to cool water situations, the Husky Jerk just seems to shine. It's got that slow roll, that right wobble that imitates either injured or sluggish prey that fish just can't resist. A couple things that cold water anglers can do to trigger more strikes. For one, if you're casting a Husky Jerk and slow rolling it, don't be afraid to add some pauses, even a couple slashes in there, followed up by a pause. That's gonna prompt your strike a lot of times, 9 times out of 10. It's gonna be way more effective than just casting these things out and then slow rolling them back to the boat. Adds a little bit more action to the bait, and of course, fish just can't resist it on the pause. Another thing trollers can do is if you're trolling these things behind the boat, don't be afraid to kind of work the baits a little bit, pumping the rod, adding a little bit of action to the bait, or what I like doing is just dropping the rod tip back, even if you're slow rolling it, and just walking the dog with the bait. So what I'm doing by that is dropping the rod tip, working it forward, and then dropping it back. That's gonna walk the dog, that's gonna add a pause in the bait, that's gonna trigger your strikes. I tell you what, there's not a fish that swims that won't hit a Husky Jerk slow rolling it. And the reason being, it just imitates that injured, dying bait fish. Husky Jerks have a reputation of catching fish, and it's for a reason, because it works in a lot of situations, whether it's cold water, whether it's current, whether you're casting, trolling this bait, slow rolling it, or slashing this bait. The Husky Jerk, quite simply put, just catches fish.